Hello, Kion. Thank you so much for joining me for DataCube's killer questions. I've got four big questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, thanks, Hels, for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to the conversation.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kion. So, first question, can you tell us how you got into data? What's your story?
Yeah, sure. I'd probably have to go back to when I was about 13, 14. This is going to make me sound like a real geek, but I used to play a game called Football Manager. And that game was all about managing a football team, and it was all stats based. So you'd kind of manage a team, try and get it to the first division back then, and all your players had different stats and capabilities. And really, I got really immersed in that game, and I realized the better the data or the stats of your players, the better your team was, and the more games you won, etc. So I really got fascinated with data when I was about 14. I'm really interested in it. So that kind of naturally led to me doing a degree in economics, which was very data heavy. And then I did a master's in international business. And, further down the line, I did a PhD in sociology because I went from an interest in data to qualitative research as well, because I really wanted to understand the context behind data. So my interest in data started very early, very young. And I was lucky enough really to kind of get into my first role, which was at Euromonitor, which was a market research agency. So I was using my data skills to understand fast-moving consumer goods markets. And really what I was doing is analyzing data on the sales and the kind of prices of different products and services and reporting on those. And those reports would be sold to clients who were looking to enter a specific market. So not only was I using my knowledge of data and using that to understand what was happening in different markets, I was actually beginning to write reports about that data and tell stories. Because I think the important thing with data is telling a story about that data and engaging an audience. So I guess that's how I got into it. And then all my
Awesome.
roles and jobs kind of progressed from there. And I just became more and more senior in different roles and different kind of organizations. And that led all the way up to, getting to, director of strategy and futures and insight, the Law Society. And actually was my last role was as a CEO, which is really fascinating and interesting. But I decided that I'm still interested in the data part of it. So although my role as
Awesome.
CEO was much broader, I'm looking now to transition back into chief data officer role or a data
Great.
analytics type role.
Data is where it's at, Kion. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
that's great. It's great to hear. The world of data needs you. So great, good, great. Thank you for sharing that with me. So, when it comes to 2024, what do you see as the biggest or AI related challenges for organizations in 2024?
Really, I think for all organizations, it's the integration of AI and a better leveraging of the data assets they have. I think a lot of organizations have got a huge amount of data that they don't realize the value from because it's normally in systems or databases that are not integrated effectively, and they're not able to access the data. And sometimes it might not be very secure. So I think the analysis of data they have, the kind of integration of that, and the visualization of it. I find a lot of organizations I've worked for, it's very difficult for some people who are not data kind of literate or don't have a data background to really understand what the data is saying. So it's about
Mm.
telling the story of the data. So I think the big challenge is reviewing their data assets, integrating their data to maximize and leverage the value of that. But then I think the longer term challenge maybe for ones that are more data mature is how do they integrate AI into their business? Because, I've been learning a lot about using video editing. I'm starting up a YouTube channel and I've actually been using AI video to create videos and write scripts. And what it can do is absolutely amazing, the AI tools
Mm.
now. So I see lots of opportunities for businesses to better use their data. First step. The second step is to better use the AI tools that are really, really advanced now in the market. Obviously, ChatGPT, everyone knows about that, but maximizing the value of that and actually making that, something that adds value to your business. So I think all areas of work require that. I think specifically for the legal profession, for example, all of that is important, but also talent. There's a big competition for talent, getting the right individuals. And I think the solicitors, for example, of the future are going to be people who are going to have a more holistic skill set. So they're going to not only, have the solicitor's qualification to be able to practice law, but they need to understand data and visualization and storytelling. So I think those are the big challenges from what I see.
Awesome. Thanks, Keon. That makes perfect sense. So I definitely think data integration and harnessing AI in a pragmatic way are big challenges for all organizations. So yeah, thank you for that. What about the opposite side of the coin, Keon? What do you see as the biggest data and AI related opportunities for organizations in 2024?
Well, I think for organizations, it's about scale and growth. Most organizations are going to, need to reach some sort of audience and customer base and client base. And I think data and AI can help them automate and make processes much more efficient, much more seamless. And that can really maximize the speed and the user experience. So using data to improve user experience is a key opportunity. And also using AI to kind of present things in a much more cost-effective way. Like I said, I've been kind of dabbling with AI video tools and writing scripts and kind of creating videos, and I've got no editing skills whatsoever. But with those AI tools, I could see businesses now, smaller businesses I'm talking about here, creating pretty professional videos to promote themselves, their branding. I've been playing around with Canva, which is a tool that enables you to do lots of, artistic stuff, create banners, logos. So if I was a smaller business owner, I would see these tools as really enabling myself or my business to go to the next level and become much more professional without having to pay experts to do these things for you. So I think that's the power and the opportunity of AI. It will enable you to do things that in the past you may have needed to buy in or outsource, whereas now you can integrate that in because there's the tools available to support you.
Definitely, and we definitely see that. We're delivering data and AI solutions for our clients, but equally, we're looking at how does our business get more and more efficient and scalable through using data and AI within our business. So, yeah, totally agree. It's such a massive opportunity for all of us. So, yeah, great. Thank you, Kion. And fourth question, last question, Kion, the most important one. Do you have a data or AI related joke for us?
I don't have a specific AI data related one, but I kind of started out in the government working in operational research, and I worked with a lot of statisticians, and there's a joke that I remember which was seemed quite funny, but you'd probably have to get it if you're into stats. But the joke goes is, why was a statistician so full of himself? And the answer is because he had a very high confidence interval. So I guess you got to have a bit of a stats background to get that one. But I remember
It's
someone
got a
told me
certain
that.
audience, that joke, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
got a
yeah,
certain
it'll probably be
audience.
for probably be for the statisticians. But I remember one of my friends, a
Yeah.
statistician, told me that joke, so that's one that stuck with me, which I thought was quite funny.
I think that works. That definitely counts as a joke. So it made me laugh. So there we go. So thank you ever so much, Keon, for answering my four data cube killer questions. Really appreciate your time. Always great to chat to you. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Hells, and thank you for the audience for listening as well. Thanks.